that once I got into the competition, I was going to be able to use it anyway. So once I did that, I was like, okay, forget about the demo accounts. I'll just practice while I'm in the competition. Just start off with a little bit lower lot size, and that way I get comfortable. And then once I'm kind of the same way I did MetaTrader 5, you start off, you practice a little bit, then you get, okay, now I'm serious. Let me like really work it. So that's, if you're going to do the competition anyway, I would probably recommend do it now, get the 50% off, and start with a low lot size. And then you're also starting to fill up your days, right? Like that 5 day anyway. So, it's doesn't hurt to, get some days under your belt. So that would be
So
my
you
recommendation.
qualify after you make so much money per day, or
no, you have to hit. So here, let me go back over here. So, all right. So see here where it shows me my account balance is 199,758. I started with 200,000. I went down to like 198, and then I built back up. It's weird. Jump off that page. That was weird. Let's see. Let's trade. It's like closed by itself. I don't know how to log in. I've never actually logged in. It's usually just on. Maybe log in. Oh, strange. I mean, my cursor wasn't even near the top of the page. Why is it doing this? Okay. All right. So this is so you can see challenge 200,000. Today's P&L minus 197. I'm in stage 1. I have a minimum of 5 days, active trading days. I'm at day 4. Maximum permitted loss, 20,000. Today's permitted loss would be a little under 10. My total P&L, I'm down $241. So I would need to pass this phase of the challenge. I would need to get to 20,241.68. That's how much profit I need in order to get through phase 1. Right? So there's no, you have to do this much a day. I could do 5% a day. I could do 0.5% a day. It's whatever I can do. It's automatically tied to the Tradelocker. This is a demo account, so it's not real money. But now everything that I do is now cataloged, right? So all of these closed positions that I'm sharing here, these are all real trades with real fees. Like, it's basically showing what it would be if the account was open, except there's a couple of fees that might not be reflective, but it's pretty accurate. And so you can see the numbers match up. Balance 199, 758, right? That matches up with what's over here. 199, 758. This isn't on there, but I'm down 0.12%. This shows my winning trades. I'm just around 70%, 70-30, which isn't too bad. And so this is like my snapshot of what's going on in my challenge, in my competition. And so right now, I'm almost through the 5 days, but that won't impact the 20,000. Like, let's say if I did next week, let's say if I did 20,000, it took me 13 days. Now I go to graduate to phase 2, which then I have to do 8%. So my drawdown is going to be less. It'll be 4% per day or 8% total. So everything tightens up a little bit. And that's phase 2. Then once you get through for phase 1 and phase 2, now you have a real $200,000 account. So now everything that I earn is profits, but I still have to go 8 days from that point in time. So right now, best case scenario would be, because I haven't really even started yet. So if I did all 20,000 next week, I still got to do a phase 2. That's another week. I still got to do another 8 days. That's 3 weeks. So I'm best case scenario 3 to 4 weeks away from being in profit. That's best case scenario. Now, I would love it if it was sooner than that, but that's the best I could possibly do. If I try to rush it, then I might take risky trades and I might end up screwing myself. So I want to, take my time. I want to do it right. I'll show the progress that I'm having.
The race.
Huh?
Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would rather get through the competition, and rather than blowing my account on the second day or third day, and it takes a little bit of time to get used to Tradelocker. So I feel like now that I have some, comfort, I can now, start, making some smarter trades. So we'll see. I'll show the progress as I go. I don't have any problem showing the progress. I don't think this is going to be
making fun back into this group that we've been in for the past couple of years. This is fun.
Well,
I do. This is like challenging. Keep the mind going. It's like
it's going to be some work, bro. I mean, it's not.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but this is real money, man. I mean, it's like people. It's like you can go do lots of different things, and this is real money. And to your point you made on the site the other day about, well, what about just using the tools? If I put $500 in a brokerage account and trade it at 1% a day, there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a lot of people that they might not want to do the competition, but they can use the tools to do their own trading. That's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, and it does. So I'm reading too. It says registration fee refunded on verification. So if you put up the $975 and you qualify and get $4,000 account, are they giving you your $975 back?
Yeah, if you win the contest, then you get your. I keep saying contest. You win the challenge, then you get your funds back. Yeah.
So you get 50% off of that then?
Yep, it's 50% off in the month.
So you better have to go at the 200,000 because then when you get qualified, you're on the 200,000 then.
Yep. So if you pick 200,000, then that's the it's 200,000, right? So, but right now they're doing 50% off in the month of March.
Okay. And I did start on Tradelocker yesterday, and I hated it. Today I love it. After I've been following you, and now I got it.
Yeah, I know. I did the same thing. The first day, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't want to. I like MetaTrader 5, but it's once you get used to it, it's fine.
Are you using Tradelocker on your computer, or is it easy on the phone?
Yes, I'm doing it on the computer because I can't. I had the eye surgery and I can't see my phone very good.
Yeah, I haven't. Actually, somebody asked me about putting it on your phone, and I didn't try that yet. So let me see.
I actually didn't put it on my phone, but it was harder to read, so I'm sticking with the computer.
But you did download it on your phone?
Yeah, I got different. I seen it on there, but I couldn't follow it. So I've stuck with it on my computer until I got it fixed. It took me a little bit to figure out how to move the stuff around on the computer.
Yeah, I'll have to put in my login credentials and everything, but
there's a line in there that you can move the screen up and down, and I couldn't find the cell in that execution.
Right.
And my wife just come across it by accident. It's a line you can move it up and down. I went over that whole thing yesterday and could not find it. I mean, how to move a stuff. and all of a sudden there's a line that if you hold it, and then then the execution showed up.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I've been pretty much just focused on the computer. I mean, most of the time I'm here anyway, so that wasn't really a big deal for me. And I like I like the screens. I actually like now the being able to see. So like here, I'll give you another example. Now that it's like settled down a little bit. So if you look here, this where my cursor is, you see it's got all the boxes: market, sell, risk, SL, TP. But if I open that up, then I got really sell or buy, right? So do I think the market's going to go this way or this way, right? So if I get these faces out of the way here, let's go back over here. And I keep logging out of stuff by accident. My computer's so slow when I'm on Zoom. Scanner. So I don't see anything in here right now. See, it's all, there's no tips here. Let's just go to trade alerts, commodities. 14 hours ago. That's not going to do us any good. Tap the trade, expire. That's not going to do us any good. But this is kind of what I do. If you're paying attention to how I jump around, I go check out the trade alerts. I check out, tap the trade, just make sure I'm not missing anything. And then I'll come back over to the scanner. And everybody keeps telling me Golden Rain is good. I don't like it, to be honest. I keep coming back to Pulse. And I just think this is like trading for dummies. And I'm a dummy, so I like it. And, everybody is asking me technical questions. I'm like, there's green arrows and red arrows. I don't know. It doesn't get any easier than that, And it says, buy 3 points, buy 5 points, or sell 5 points, sell 4 points. I think all that really means is because if you look here, the charts, there's 3 charts they're showing. I believe how I understand it is there's up to 5 different trading views, trading strategies. Like there's a trading strategy that's I know Ken and Quentin know that what is it, the bubble 1 2 3. I just said it last night. Bubble 1 2 3. I don't know, whatever it's called, but that would be a trading strategy, right? Like there's different strategies that or squeeze bubble 1 2 3, right? That would be a strategy, right? So these are just different trading strategies. So when 3 strategies all say that this is a good time to come in the market as a sell, and actually it says 5 points, which then I believe that means that there's 2 other strategies, all of them align. And the only reason why I kind of figured that out, I could be wrong, but I've seen it say 3 points and only 2 points are showing, which then means that there's one that's not. Usually if it says 3 points, there's 3 in alignment. So when it comes up as, let's say, 3 points or sell 5 points, then on the right, it's going to give us a signal that tells us where the entry point is. It's not going to give us the stop loss, and it's not going to give us the take profit. It'll just give us the entry point. But if you have been following their training, they use a 3 up, 3 down methodology. So if they say, let's say 2175 as an entry point, right, which is kind of where we're at, right? Let's say this was the entry point. Now I can see I'm right there, 21.75. Right. So then what I would do is if I was manually putting in the stop loss, if it was going to be a sell, then I would put in 21.78. And then it shows up and it shows me where that is. So if I don't like it, let's say I wanted to be up here, I can move it up past where it got to, right? But all that's going to do is it's going to change the amount of risk, my exposure, if the market went that way. So you just got to know, like, you don't have to use the 3 points. You can do whatever you want. Like, this is about 3 points, right around here. Or I can move it up if I wanted to. So let's look at 15 minutes, right? So if I look at a 15-minute candle, right, that would be, if you come over here, up here, but I think if you were here, which is 21.79, 21.80, you're above where it hit last time. It doesn't mean it won't go there, but if it does go against your strategy, you're at least kind of out here above where it was before. So now my take profit, same thing. I can manually put that in, or I can move it. So if I said, I feel like the market's going to go here, it's a small take profit, right? Or if let's say if I just went with 3 points, that's about here, and I can see that's below kind of where it's been hitting. Right? So I might even want to pull it up here. And then I probably would want to keep my risk here. And then the lot size is going to determine how much you're earning, right? So if I got that trade, I would earn $32. But if I lost that trade, I would lose 55. So are you willing to risk 55 to earn 30, right? Like, that's a basic way to think about it. Or let's say if I put it up here, I can put my stop loss way up here, which gives me plenty of room for the market to go up and down. But if I lost that trade, I would lose $144, right? So do I want to risk that much? Now, what you could do is you could just do this or this, and then you could open up the trade and watch the market. And then you can make your own determination of where you want to get out, because you can easily stop a trade wherever you want to stop a trade. And that's the whole point at playing with demo accounts or, just practicing, is practice stuff, right? Like, even now, it's not real. I mean, I'm in a contest or it's a contest. I can't change that word. I'm in a not even competition. It's a challenge. Right? Because I said the word contest, and everybody kept asking me, like, are we going against other people? And I'm like, why are you asking that? But it was the wording, right? I keep saying contest. It's actually a challenge, right? So you're just challenged against yourself. You just need to get through these stages, which is not going to be easy, right? But it's possible. It's achievable. With a little bit of work, anybody can do it. So here, let's go back over here. Let's look at the
Glenn,
scanner.
if you could teach me how to play in the crypto market, you can teach anybody how to do this.
I mean, listen, I think that this is fun. I do want to. I want to show you guys this ladder. I didn't make this up. Like, this isn't my strategy. It's something I learned from one of the traders in the community. I think it's Maddie. But then I kind of like took it and started practicing with it. And the way the ladder works is, let's say, and I just don't have a clearer signal in here right now, so it's tough because I kind of like sitting right in the middle. But let's say we had a buy, right? which I don't think we're kind of like, we don't really have either. But let's say we had a buy. Then I would come in here and I would start with, I would have to switch these around first of all. And that's the other thing with Tradelocker. See how easy that was? Instead of worrying about the numbers, I could just worry about that. And let's say, actually, you know what? Let me just show you something here. I can do something small. All right, so let's say I was going to do a buy. I could do a buy and keep it like super small, 0.1 lot size, and look at my P&L, $20, right? So it's a very small wager that I'm putting in. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's small. If I'm wrong, it's fine. So now you see position opened. And that's the other thing too with Tradelocker. It takes a second. So there's been times where I went to go execute a buy or a sell, and because it took a second or two, I ended up losing money on that little wait. So now you see I'm in an open position. I'm down a little bit because the market went down a little bit, but my profit and loss is 10 cents. Now I'm in the positive. Now I'm in the negative. So it's right at that line. So now what I've been doing strategically, this is what I did all day yesterday, is I would open small trades like this, very small, 0.2, 0.25, maybe 0.5 at the most. And then, because I wasn't getting a lot of clear signals yesterday. And then, I was kind of just more going based off of where I thought it was going to go. So I would use, right now I'm totally guessing, but I would use, like, let's say I had 2 dark green arrows, but I wasn't getting a clear buy. I would open up a small trade, and then now I'm waiting, right? And the reason why I like doing that is even though it's small, I'm focused in on what's happening right now with gold. So it forces you to pay attention because I'm in a trade. And even though it's small, I don't want to lose. So I'm in the trade. So now you see I'm losing a little bit because the market is coming down. And then I'll keep my eye on what's happening over here. Or, I'm watching the trade alerts to see what's going to happen from the traders. So it gives me a little bit of an indication of, was I in a good trade or was I not? Right now, I couldn't tell you whether or not it was a good trade or not a good trade. Just because it's in the negative doesn't necessarily mean it won't respond back. That's just a 5-minute candle. So it's not really going too aggressive one way or another, but you can see now it is. But since I had such a small risk, I'm only down $10, right? So it's not going to kill me if I hit the stop loss. Now I'm down 13. So now let's keep our eyes on the scanner. Still don't see anything. So if I were confident in my buy, but yet I was down, but let's say now the scanner was giving me a clear indication that the market was going to go back up. What I might do now is I might open up another trade with a higher lot size at the lower watermark. So now I'm essentially doubling down on the same trade, but I'm opening the trade up at a different position. So like if you look here, right, I opened that trade up at 21.74. We're at 21.72. Now, since I have no confidence in the trade, I'm not going to do this. But if I had confidence in the trade because I was seeing a clear buy, then what I might do is open up a new trade here, because on its way back up just to where I started, if I double the lot size, I could make more than what I'm losing here. So some of the losses that you see on my closed positions were calculated losses. I basically gave up one or two trades to get bigger trades. Now, this wasn't a good example because I was just randomly picking. And I told you, if you want to start a career and open trades that were against what I would guess, then you probably could get a career going. Because if I'm left to my own devices, 9 out of 10 times this is what happens, and I hit my stop loss. And I'm okay with that. I was doing it as an example. But, I hit my stop loss. I lost 0.1. So if you come over here to close positions, let's see what I actually lost here. I lost $25. I'm not ecstatic about it, but on a $200,000 account, it's not really gonna, kill me. I'm 199, 732. So now let's go back over here. Now that we saw the market drop, though, if I can actually get my screen to open. See, it keeps doing that. It keeps closing the screens. Oh, that's frustrating. So now I just saw something, a trade alert pop up, but I think it was an old one. 15 hours ago. This is an old one. Scanner, pulse. See, every time you log in, all these old ones come up. Gold. So again, it's not really giving me anything clear, but I am here. Let's just look at 15 minutes. See, I would say this would be a good time to come back in, but really we're above where it was here. So we're kind of at the bottom of this. Right? Like that would be just using the same tools that they it's actually not even really that. It's more like here. Right? Like it's that middle one. Because it went above and then it came right back down. So really, it's kind of riding between 2175 and 2171. So, but it could continue to drop or it can bounce back. And that's all I did yesterday was I just rode that little in between that was happening throughout the course of the day. So I'm going to actually say I am going to go in on a buy. See, I got one green arrow that agrees with me.
Yeah, that just popped up.
Yeah. So I'm going to go in on a buy. And I'm going to put it right here. And stop loss is here. Actually, I'm going to go back to a 5-minute candle here. And now I'm going to do a 2 lot size. Okay. So now I opened up a buy with a 2 lot size instead of a 1. So the reason why I did that was essentially I'm playing small ball right now because I'm not sure whether or not it's going to keep going down or whether it's going to pop back up. And you see, as soon as I opened up that buy, it continued to go down a little bit. I'm still not getting a really good, clear indication one way or another.
But when you see the 2 green arrows, that's what you consider a good indication, right?
I mean, really, it should be when I see it's a buy.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like I'm more forcing it right now because we're on a call and I'm trying to like show, and I'm hoping that actually it goes down a little bit like it did,
right?
So that I can show the ladder technique. But I don't want to. I'm not going to double down on a trade, even though it's small, unless I was getting really good indications that I was in the right trade. Because right now, I mean, that could just keep dropping, right? Like it could go back to where it started this morning,
right?
Right? Like it kind of looks like it's heavy right now. It looks like it wants to drop. Let's see here. But this is where I've been making a lot of strides, is this exact spot where I'm essentially getting in, usually once I get a good buy or a good sell. Then if the market goes backwards a little bit, even though I'm in the negative, then I come back in and double the lot size at a lower watermark or a higher watermark. So now,
once that compensates the loss.
Well, if it goes back up,
right,
it compensates the loss, right?
Right. Okay.
So like right now, it's at 2170. If I had a good indication, I would be doubling down. But because in 5 minutes it dropped, and now we're in another 5-minute window, it's continuing to drop, there's a really good chance that this could keep going. And so I would be, I think, gambling if I double down now on this trade. I'd be taking too big of a risk. So now you see a new 5-minute candle opened up. And you could say, well, it's coming back, but it's early. And again, I'm not getting, now I have 2. So that's better. So I might actually get ready for this. Buy. But now it's still going down. But what I would do is I would go to a 0.4. I'm not getting a really good, strong buy. But my risk is still fairly small. But now you see here, my 0.2 is down $31 and almost at its stop loss, because the stop loss is 2168. I'm at 2169, so I don't have much more room. It might tap out. So I might end up losing 40, 45, right? So now I just hit the stop loss. So I just lost, $40 or whatever.
It closes you out automatically once you set your stop
Once you
loss.
hit your stop loss. Yep. So now you see, I told you I could run the risk of the market going against my strategy. I doubled the lot size, but now it's starting to come back. Hopefully, we'll see. So now I'm in the profit. I'm hovering right around where I came in. Let's see what the scanner is saying. Scanner's got 2 dark green. So let's see what it actually does.
I like how on this app you can see all the places where the money's being made. You see adjusting as the market goes.
Yeah, you can kind of watch it as it's going. So you saw that I just lost, $40, $50, $75. Well, really $50 on that last one. But if I had a good signal when it dropped down where that other stop loss was, I might have come back in, but I'm not confident that this isn't going to keep dropping. I don't want to just keep throwing good money after bad. So that's why you got to be careful when you double down like that. Look, I mean, this thing it's not really giving me a clear buy. No traders are saying anything. I mean, I don't, I don't know. But we'll see what happens. But that strategy has been working out, for the most part, has been working out really, really good for me. Where now when the market does come back, because I doubled my lot size, you see I'm in the profit 30, 32, 33, 34. If I can just, sometimes I try to will it up,
Yeah.
But see, now I could have closed out right there and taken a little bit of a profit. What I'm attempting to try to do is make up for the loss that I just took, or at least try to get back into profit. But by waiting, now it's that greed factor, right? It's do you wait or do you just take your little $30? Because again, I don't know really what's happening right now. I'm not getting any clear indication. Oh, wait, buy 4 points.
Wow.
See, that just came up. So now, let's say if I go on a buy on a take profit, and I'm going to take my profit here, and let me put my stop loss here, and I'm going to double that lot size to 8.
Okay, so you lowered your stop loss, and you opened up another trade. Gotcha.
Yeah, I opened up another trade because now I had a clear buy. So again, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily guaranteed.
But that 4 points, that's 4 points of
that's 4 different confirmations that all agree. Again, that doesn't guarantee anything. I mean, the market's going to do what's going to do. But if you go back and look at, sell 5 points, boom. But look, here was a buy. I mean, it went up a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Right.
Here was a buy and then it went up. Here was a sell. Here was a buy. It went up. But here's some buys and it just kept going down and down and down, right? So, it's not a guarantee, which is why, you want to be careful with that strategy. So here's my buy 0.8. If I can get a good green candle, Like, see this candle over here? If I get
Yeah.
something like that. And now you just kind of like wait, right? I mean, the thing is, by starting off with a very low lot size and then using this ladder strategy, if it works, it's great. If it doesn't work, it can, you can take a few hits back to back. So that's why you want to start with that low lot size, because you saw I started with a 0.2 and then 0.2, 0.4, 0.8, and all of a sudden now I'm into not a significant amount of risk, but I'm definitely into more risk than I would be if I just stuck with the one trade. But the thing about just sticking with the one trade is you saw that first one went down, it hit the stop loss, and it got out. I was on the right track. I just got in at the wrong point. So it's not a matter of chasing a bad one. If I wasn't getting a clear indication, then I probably would have just bowed out of, I wouldn't want to like double down and triple down if, I felt like the market was just going to keep going in a downward trajectory.
And that pulse scanner told you different.
Well, the pulse scanner is telling me that the market's going to go up, but sometimes it still keeps going. Like, look at all these buys.
Oh, yeah.
And then finally it went back up. So, it did eventually kind of hit the bottom. It just wasn't ready to hit the bottom yet. And, that could be the case of what's happening here, where it just wasn't ready to hit the bottom yet. So now, if I had extreme confidence, I might go in with a 1.6 here. Like sometimes it'll come in with more. I mean, it's still showing bright green.
Yeah.
See, and it gave me my entry. I'll say buy 5 points.
Oh, see, now
it's giving me a stronger indication. So now I got a couple choices. I can move my stop losses. So I kind of want to see it hit the floor before. See, it might hit this stop loss. I'm very close to the stop loss here. But now it looks like maybe it's coming back up. See, now if I would have gotten in right there, that jump, I would have made profit, but I didn't. I hesitated. Now I can get in here, but I kind of want to just see it stop. Like it just keeps dropping. And that's happened over here where it just keeps dropping. And if that's the case, then it's going to come down here, which will break through both of my stop losses.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the MetaTrader, and it doesn't show you where you can enter anything. It's just got the numbers. You got to watch them before you buy in.
Mm-hmm.
Get your entry number. That's why I'm liking that Tradelocker a lot better. And there you go, starting up now. Here's your stop loss. Mm-hmm.
A lot of patience.
Yeah, time goes by fast when you watch this.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of time I feel like I'm just like staring at the screen, but kind of just going back and forth. I'm waiting for whatever the traders are saying. So that was a strong buy at 5 points. I mean, the right move, had I not lost a couple right in a row, would have been to come in right here at a double lot size, and then I would have had that whole gain all the way back up to here, and I could have gotten out of that.
Yeah, beans, I'm in demo. I got my thing at like 2.5 for the lot size.
On what size account?
The 100,000 demo account.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can go a little heavier than 0.25, but again, it depends on what your strategy.
No, it's 2.5.
Oh, 2.5. Okay, 2.5. Yeah. But again, here's what you probably want to do is you want to be practicing the same way you would, and you just want to be careful on your risk and your exposure. That's going to be the name of the game in having ultimate success using using this system. Let's see.
Yeah, I just like I said, I just was trying to see how you make more profit being it's a demo, because I'm not, trying to learn,
Yeah.
Well, let me just try that and see where that goes. And when I go to my history, I mean, it really done fairly well. I mean, I lost 97 on one, but 127 in the blue, 147 in the blue. Not too bad, but this is more me learning, guesswork to see the real game. But listening to you and listening to W, you learn so damn much.
See, now I made back if I got out of this. Well, now I hesitated. I was going to say if I closed out this trade, I made back what I lost on the last two, but obviously I'm not in this to just break even, and I'm still have this other trade open. But then I hesitated and I didn't close it right away. So I'm still in the profit. That's the hard part in guessing, is when's a good time to get out, because you don't want to like panic sell. Now I'm up 84, 92. Now I'm in the positive on both.
Yeah, it came out real good. Bill might just take profits. For what I set up.
All right, so I'm going to close this one. And then I'm going to close this one just because I wanted to. That was a good, way to at least show.
Well, what you just showed me, what I set up, I made $267.
Nice. Yep. So if you see, the way that worked. So when I use the terminology of getting yourself out of trouble, what I mean is if you're in it and you're paying attention, then like right here, I made a trade where I jumped in, right? Like just to show an example, very small lot size. Right. I lost. Then I doubled down and I lost again. So instead of cowering and saying, all right, I'm going to walk away, I'm still looking at the tools. The tools give me an indication the market's going to come back up. So I doubled down and doubled down. And yes, that was a lot of work, but $25.60 and $49.60 is what I lost. So I lost $75.20. I made 99 and 6. So I made 105. So in that scenario, I ended up netting about a $30 plus gain. But, I'm not really that confident right now on where the market is. And so I'll just take that little win. But that's essentially what I've been doing, is stacking a lot of those little wins. Now, if you look at my ratio, I only won 50% out of the trades. But
right.
That's basically what I've been doing, is using the tools to make educated decisions, jumping in. Now, the only difference is I probably wouldn't have opened that first lot or that first trade without a clear indication. Usually I'll wait for a clear indication one way or another. Then I open. Then I'm watching where the market's going to go, potentially double. Sometimes I go in and the market just goes and I can execute a positive trade. So I'm not necessarily always looking to do the ladder technique, but most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time I'll get a clear buy, I'll go in, and then the market goes down. But if it's a clear buy and I'm getting like 4 points, 5 points, like it's stacked, then I might go in again, double down. If it goes down again, I might go in triple down. And I'm watching, because if it keeps going, I don't want to lose too much. But usually what'll happen is it'll come back, and it might just get back to kind of like where I started. Like if you look, that's all this did, is it got back to like where I started. And then I got out. And because I got out, I made a little bit of money. I mean, I'm still up $155 with the, trades I've made today.
Is that for the day, or is that
so far? Yeah, I think that's for the day, right?
Gotcha.
So it's like you start off small, see where it goes. You can always double down, triple down. I've gone as much as 4 deep, but I was getting clear indications so that when it came back, it was my biggest win was at the bottom. So even if I started with 0.2, which seems really small, 0.2, 0.4, 0.8, 1.6. So now I'm on a 1.6 lot, and it comes back up to almost where I first started. That's where I'll make my 600 or 700. But this is how I've been pretty much staying away from these bigger, higher risk trades. And I've been staying away from the drawdown. And that's the key that I think is probably the hardest thing for everybody to comprehend, is that when you open up a trade, you saw when it went into the negative. Well, if you have multiple trades open, you have multiple negatives. If that was too much, then I'm risking losing my account. So, I might not need to keep it as conservative as I am. But again, I was trying to show an example of me using that strategy to kind of get myself out of a jam, right? Which is kind of what I did right there. Is I got myself a little bit into a jam. I got into a trade a little bit before I probably should have. I kind of thought it was going to go in a general direction. It did. Then I opened up and got more aggressive, and then more aggressive, and then more aggressive, working my way out of a bad trade.
And what helped you become aggressive was looking at that scanner where all of a sudden it's like, boom,
right.
Put up all them.
Exactly. The scanner, and then if I see like one of the traders, put them in alert, stuff like that, that's what's helping me there. But that technique, that ladder technique, that's been really all I've done. Like that's all I did yesterday is just the ladder.
Just
technique.
to reiterate, when you say ladder technique, you're starting out like the lot size. That's your ladder, small increments, stepping up.
Yeah. So think about it this way, because I learned that strategy, and then I was reminded of it through the trading. But I learned that strategy when I was young, and I was training myself to be a professional gambler, and we would use this in blackjack. You start off with a blackjack hand of $10. And if you lose, then you double the next hand to 20. If you lose, you double the next hand to 40. If you lose, you double the next hand to 80. If you lose, you double the next hand to 160. Now, if you win, you just won 160. You got back all the losses. You start back over with 10. If you win at 10, then 10 goes over to the side, right? So you're building up the pot. So it's not to say you don't want to win with just 10, but it's a small win, right? And so I kind of have been using a strategy similar to that, where if I open up at 0.2 and I go into the drawdown, but everything is telling me that market's going to come back up. Now I open a new trade at 0.4. If that goes into the drawdown, I might open it at 0.8. If that goes in the drawdown, I might open it at 1.6. So now I'm 4 deep, like a ladder, right, at different levels.
Yes.
But I'm getting indications saying that the market's going to come back. When the market comes back up, even if it only came halfway up, if I close all 4 of those trades, I might lose the top 2, but I'll win the bottom 2. And the bottom 2 that I won will be worth more than the top 2 that I lost. Does that make sense?
Oh, makes tons of sense. Actually, I'm glad I took the time off today to get on this. It's just worked out that way when rain comes. So I was like, you know what? Perfect timing. My head's hurting, dude. I learned so much today. It's incredible.
Yeah, mine too. So it's probably a good time for me to bow out and go get something to eat.
But I can't thank you enough, brother. This is fun.
Cool.
I love it. Awesome. Yeah, and then put this in along with our pig. Oh, man. I'm loving it.
All right. Well, listen, I mean, for those who hung out, I see there's a few people that stayed on for that last hour. I was going to stop at 10:30, but then I'm like, you might as well just go and just see if we can find.
Okay, now this Tradelocker, is there a referral link that I need to go through?
Not for Tradelocker, for the competition. There's a referral.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha. Okay, because I want to get this in practice because I'm a slow learner. But once I learn it,
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You can practice on.
Yes.
Go to SageFX or ThorFX. Download a free demo version. You can start practicing on that.
Okay.
And then that'll be Tradelocker. Then when you're ready to do the competition, you'll have access to Tradelocker. So.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, you got it. And for everybody else, let's see who's hanging out. Mike, Jeff, Nicole. All right, folks. I will see you. I'm going to go eat, and I'll try to post these recordings up at some point today. Have a great day, great weekend, and I'll let you guys know about Monday or next week's schedule. Talk soon.